Welcome everyone to the Watchlist, your virtual weekly TV guide right here on the Latiners Network. Ready to go over all the shows, movies, documentaries released on streaming over the past week, give you our best recommendations or non-recommendations as the case may be. And of course, at the end of the show, letting you know what's coming out over the next 2 weeks so you too can create your very own watch list. Joining us as always is Senor Jaime, aka Chewy. What it is, what it was, what it shall be.
I need my San Diego fix, dude.
Get back from
We've
San
tried.
Diego. The countdown starts again for the next one. Good
October
times over
6th.
there. He saw some cool stuff. We'll talk about something in particular in a moment. If you're new to us, hit the subscribe button to the channel where you want to tune in every Sunday to see what is on to watch because there's always something to see. I don't care what anybody else says. But first, Chewy, before we get to the good stuff, there is some bad stuff. Sad news in memoriam, and fortunately, the rule of three does not apply to TV shows. But in this case, just one show. Netflix ending its run for FUBAR after 2 seasons. Hasta la vista, baby, to Mr. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Ooh.
Show is no longer going to be on the air. I can't say I'm too surprised. I know that it didn't get good viewership from first to second season and stuff. I still like season 2. It wasn't great, but it was all right for what it was. And it is Arnold. He deserves some respect. But yeah, fans of the show, it is what it is. No longer going to be on there. But on the flip side of the coin, we got renewals for Stick on Apple Plus, so that's
Yeah,
always
of
good.
course. They
Good show, very good comedy, feel good kind of comedy on Apple Plus, and of course, Untamed, which I thought was a limited series starring
it,
Eric
it,
Bana,
it was. They went from a limited series to saying, no, no, we like it.
yeah,
Let's do it
I
again.
guess a lot of people watched that. Apparently, that's good,
But
decent
definitely
show.
no Sam Neill,
Yeah,
maybe.
no Sam Neill's gonna be in it for no bait and switch. He'll stick with Invasion or where he's doing these days. But that's a cool show. I enjoyed it. It's not great, but it's cool. I like the premise. So yeah, season 2, why not? Right, for sure. So that's on the positive side. Um, I did, before we get started, I didn't prompt for this, but it's funny because I saw this trailer and I was talking to a good friend Jerry about it. He texted me about Ice Cube's new movie World of Worlds. We saw a trailer like, oh, this looks really bad and whatever. Or we know what the ending was gonna be. And I figured that this was a trailer for a movie that's coming out, I don't know, in a few months. That's usually kind of how it works.
No, this is already out on Prime. I
Yeah, I
saw it.
went
I was
up
like, what is this?
exactly. I joined the Prime Day like 2, 3 days ago. I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was like a trailer. It was the actual movie, and I was like, you know what? I'm gonna watch it.
Okay.
Dog shit. Woo! Good lord, good lord. It's not good. It's what a shame. It's bad, and Ice Cube's everyone's terrible in this movie. It's so bad. More than waste your time, but if you see it, just skip on by. There's plenty of the other past iterations of that of War of the Worlds and all that to watch. This is just not one of them. It's worse than you think it is. It's bad. The trailer may look bad. It's worse than even the trailer may look. That's a sad thing. So, but we'll stick to the stuff that we hopefully is better. And speaking of Comic Con, we're gonna start there
Okay.
because
Excellent.
a little early. We did get a chance. We'll stick to the TV stuff. But we did get a chance to go to the Alien Earth panel. Of
Yes, we
course,
did.
we're big fans of Alien, the franchise, although understanding that the franchise isn't quite where it needs to be. Romulus was decent, and I think that you got a chance to see that a couple years ago when that came out at
I liked
Comic
it.
Con.
No, last year. Last year.
That was last year. Yeah, last year. It was fine. It was fine. It wasn't bad. It was fine. But yeah, this one is just hopefully taking a different approach. It actually gave us a chance to see the first episode. The first hour, of course, is going to be on FX and Hulu on August 12th. So we got a very early look at this. Chewy, we'll start with your thoughts on the Alien Earth.
No, man, I'm excited for it. I was obviously we're big fans. I mean, I think Aliens was probably the one movie we saw back mid '80s. I think we just moved to Miami at that time, and I think we had no idea we were watching. I think our parents just dropped us off. I think we saw. I don't care remember how many times we saw the movie in the theaters. We couldn't get enough of
True,
it, man.
true, true, true,
And
true.
it's ever since it stuck with us, right? The various iterations, the bad and not so good, and
Yeah,
even some of the good ones, right? There's been decent ones in there.
has there?
But well, yeah, well, maybe I don't know.
I mean, if you want to say Romulus, sure, that's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. Like
That's fine.
finally,
But anything
look.
else?
I can look back at Prometheus and Covenant in a different light, and they're not as bad as when originally released. But I'll leave it there.
No, it's bad. But go
Um,
ahead. Go ahead. Go
and
ahead.
stop it. But no, man, I'm really excited. Look good. I think Noah Hawley is probably the perfect director to kind of steer this because he did uh, several shows on FX that we've loved over the years. The one with the Professor X one, was it called Legion? I can't remember what it was
Legion.
called.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Legion.
Legion. That was excellent, man.
Yeah.
That was like kind of it was in the universe, but it was essentially standalone. But it brought in all these different elements of the X-Men universe into it, right? And so I think I trust him to give this the treatment that it deserves, and gives us a great story within, really, honestly, an expanded, not just a history, but an expanded alien universe with the various corporations. And they kind of lay it out pretty quickly in the very beginning. But we get like a new twist and some new things that we haven't seen before within the Alien franchise.
Yeah, listen, I was curious about this one, concerned. I told my buddies, hey, listen, they don't show the alien in the first show. I'm not watching this anymore. Luckily, they did show us some xenomorph stuff, so okay, I was pleased by that. But yeah, it's pleasantly surprised. I really enjoyed the first episode. Looking forward to what's going on here. I like the aesthetic. This felt very 1979 Alien in terms of the look, the feel, the vibe, the tone of it. Even some of the scenes that they shot. There's a scene in the beginning with we have the space crew who's bringing back all these alien species back to Earth. They were hired by one corporation, which unknowns which it is. But they're all sitting down at the little table, kind of conversing. It's almost like an exact scene of the original Alien. The ship looks the same. The computer room where Mother's at looks exactly the
Well,
same. So,
and they
you know,
should, because this is
it should. The
from a
timeline's there.
timeline
Yeah.
perspective.
Mhm.
This is in between Alien and Aliens. From a
Right.
I
Yeah.
think this is pre. I can't remember this. Yeah, this is pre Romulus, if I'm not mistaken. I can't
It's
remember
pre-Roman.
exactly.
Well, I'm not sure 100%,
Yeah,
but it's
so
definitely
somewhere in that
yeah,
range. So it's a few years
yeah, the
after
original. Yeah.
Alien, obviously, and
Right.
so but so it should look the same, right? We're talking, less than 10 years, so it's not like it's going to be a change in technology or advancement in that short of period, right?
Correct. And they resisted that urge to kind of make it look more modern than what it needed to be. So that's really cool. The music, some of the music is the same on there.
Mhm.
Had little horror elements, so which is what made Alien to begin with, in
Yes.
terms of the original. Yeah, very cool, man. I like the whole thing. They introduced like the androids and the symbiotes or whatever, and transferring consciousness to
Yes,
synthetic
synths,
beings.
cyborgs, androids.
Yeah,
Yes, yeah.
yeah, and it's like the big thing is going on Earth. So very cool, very excited. Love how it
Hey, dude,
looks.
and we got
I recommend.
Raylan Givens, dude. He's eating again, man.
That's true. The man's got to eat, and that's can't hate on that. So, but no, very good show, very well put together. I'm excited to continue watching this. Again, it's dropping on Hulu. You guys should look out for it if you're
I
an
mean,
Alien fan,
that
for
was the
sure.
one we did get to see. We missed out because time and schedule. We missed out a lot of TV stuff that was dropping
Yeah, we
after
did.
our
We didn't
time.
decide, but it is what it is. But
Paradise, we should have seen. We were dumb enough to try to go to college again. We tested it like twice and we crapped out. But Paradise dropped the trailer and
mhm.
season two and some surprises there. We missed. I guess unbeknownst to you, you thought Interview with the Vampire was over. Not so fast, my friend. It's
Apparently
coming up for
not.
the season, and so they had that one with Tyler Musker, which is a new series in October, November timeframe. It's coming out on AMC, and countless other TV shows that we just obviously could not fit into the schedule. There's only so much you can do in that time frame. You can't be everywhere. So
Exactly, but at least we get to see this one way in advance, so that was cool. And again, it wasn't like 20 minutes; it was the full hour
no,
episode.
we got the
So
full hour and then the
yeah,
full interview with the panelists and
yeah,
everyone, the actors and whatnot. So it was good.
yeah. And the actors really liked the show. Of course they did.
Well,
What are they gonna say? This shit
show me
sucked,
an
dog.
actor who
Go
doesn't
watch it.
like their show
That's what
until
I'm saying. It's the
afterwards.
best thing I've ever done. I get it.
Yes.
Again,
Until
it
they
could very,
flops, it's like, well, I didn't really like
exactly. It could very well
it.
be. But so far, it's a definitely good start. So I recommend for sure. When that comes down, we'll keep you guys reminded when that's gonna drop. Let's get to the shows that you can actually watch currently right now. The first one here was documentary on Netflix, WWE Unreal, kind of a docu-series, going behind the scenes, behind the curtain, if you will, of course, from the WWE, from the executives, Triple H, if you guys are familiar with him, and talking to a lot of wrestlers, current wrestlers, CM Punk, Cody Rhodes, and John Cena, as they kind of follow from behind the scenes from, I guess, beginning of January through WrestleMania last year
Mm,
or this year,
yes.
whatever the case
This
is.
year, this year, this year.
Right, real in-depth look behind the scenes. So, Chu, your thoughts on this? I think it was like 5-part series.
Yeah, it's my part. No, I like it because obviously I haven't followed wrestling for quite a while.
It's been a
I
while,
mean,
yeah.
obviously we're children of the '80s, so go back to the original iteration of Hulk Hogan, the pre-racist one. That's good.
Pre-racist Hogan. Let's be clear.
JYD,
Yeah, WWF by that time. Yeah.
yeah. I mean, Superfly Snoop. I
Macho
mean, like I said,
Man, Ultimate
way back when,
Warrior, yeah,
right? The
big shit,
cartoons,
yeah.
and we liked it. Then we grew up, and we're like, hey, whatever, rest is fake. Move
Well,
on.
we did get big
And
into when
then,
NWO kicked in
well, that's
WCW,
what
yeah,
I was
yeah.
wondering. That back in the '90s, we got suckered in with probably. I mean, for us, obviously, with the resurgence, right, with
Mhm.
WWE. And at that time, WWE versus the not the NWO, but the what was it
Nitro,
called? The
WCW,
yeah,
yeah,
WCW and the Nitro and the That was great. That was a great.
yeah.
I mean,
That
you
really was a
walk.
good time,
I
yeah,
think one year we're at New Orleans and you see NWO shirts all over the place,
yeah.
man. When Hogan turned heel with the Diesel and Rizzo Ramon, and it was awesome and fighting back and forth and DX and everything. I mean, it was great, man. And then obviously
Yeah,
it fell off for us again. I grew up some more, but
fair.
people like The Rock and John Cena kind of
Stone
went
Cold.
beyond the
Mhm.
wrestling world and became really global superstars outside of wrestling. I mean, they're still big in wrestling. They're still, obviously, John Cena has Third World Tour, but The Rock's been on and off many years. But you know The Rock from everywhere, right?
Mhm.
And so this, I'm not really familiar with the characters, but I watched it because obviously, I was a fan of wrestling at one point. I wanted to get some insight. I liked it a lot. The only drawback is, I mean, they only I mean, obviously I understand this is produced by them. They're only going to focus on the positive, right? Not really
Of
the
course.
the other side of the business, right? When things, from at least from the wrestler's perspective, when they get dropped or they get injured, or things happen, right? And we've seen other shows, for example, Dark Side of the Ring, which is on Vice, or which I've enjoyed because that really kind of exposes, the other side of these are people, right? And the struggles that they go through and some of the things that happen both inside and outside the ring. So that's why I like that series. But this one, for what it is, it was fairly entertaining. It was good to watch. It was good to see kind of the secret sauce behind the scenes and how they communicate and what goes on and how the stories are laid out and what moves forward, what doesn't, and obviously some of the big surprises that have come out recently, obviously with The Rock, which was kind of cool because I saw it.
Mhm.
I mean, they showed it on ESPN. I mean, that tells you how big
Yeah.
it still is, right?
Yeah, I mean, it is, if you're a wrestling fan, it's must watch. And again, to give you an insight of how to develop the storylines and how they're communicating, well, the inside the ring and the production side of it, which is cool. If you're not a wrestling fan, you probably won't interest you. That's as
Yeah.
simple as I can say it,
Yeah.
right? If you are, definitely watch it. If not, then yeah,
Look. Let's be.
it's
There
not
are a
anything
lot
new.
of
Yeah.
fans because it's making money. I mean,
Oh, no, there's a lot of fans, no doubt. So I say one of those fans.
Netflix didn't fork out a shit ton of money to get an exclusive
No,
away
no,
from.
definitely as fans, and that's what the fans I'm talking. If you're a fan of
Yeah.
wrestling, this is a must watch. As
Yes.
simple as that, right? For sure. Next one, we got Pecados Inconfesables. It's a Spanish show which lasted about 8 seconds. So it had 18 episodes. I'm like, oh boy, I don't know about this. And I put on the first 10 seconds. I'm like, nope, telenovela.
Yes.
Bowed
That's it.
out.
That's exactly what it is.
I counted myself out of the ring, if you will. I was like, yeah, I'm not doing it, so
I'm
I
not
have
sure
no
if this
idea.
is Mexican or Colombian. That I haven't
I don't
decided. It's
know.
not Spanish, definitely, because
It's
Spanish
not. It's not like a Spanish
they
show.
don't go
Yes,
they
definitely.
don't
Yeah,
go 18 on
yeah.
anything. Not even
No,
not
no.
even close.
I think it's a South American show. But
Yeah.
that said, I have nothing, no idea what the show. Didn't care. I don't watch the novelas. It's as
No,
simple as
it's
that.
not a novela, so
Yeah,
that's all you gotta say.
yeah, exactly. So
Well,
listen,
well, actually, more dramatized. It's not like like the Mexican, like Univision telenovelas that we see, right, with the exaggerated episodes of 60.
sure,
But it is telenovela light.
exactly.
More dramatized, a little more serious, but still 18 episodes is a lot, dude.
Yeah, if you like the novelas, give it a shot. But yeah, not recommend here from the watches. That's for sure. Next one here is a chance. It's just a show we missed at Comic Con. We didn't get a chance to see it. But we caught up, releasing 3 episodes on Peacock, and that's Twisted Metal, the second season coming out. Of course,
Yeah,
based
they were
off
there.
the
Yeah.
the video, a video game that probably no one knows unless you're old as we are. That
Well,
said,
surprisingly enough, my son obviously was not around for the PlayStation days, but he was like, "Oh, Twisted Metal, I heard of that. I know some of
okay,
that." I'm like, "Oh, okay."
I stand corrected then. Well, I
I
sit
might have
corrected.
convinced him to watch it. I kind of explained to him, how it goes,
Yeah.
not to
I mean,
expect the video
you
game.
don't have to know what the game is to watch this show. That's for
Oh
sure.
no, no, not really, not really.
At
Yeah,
all, at all. So, but and the game doesn't have a whole lot of story. But listen, it's Anthony Mackie stars in this one. It's a kind of a post-apocalyptic world, and he's kind of navigating this new world where we have some cities which are sealed off, and everyone outside is just living a
They're on
lawlessness,
their
right?
own.
On their own,
Dog eat dog.
doggy dog world. Can't trust nobody. And now there's some apparently not season two, the contest where you have a chance to win a wish from this guy called Calypso, who's heading this tournament, just like in the video game. So now this is the second season's focusing on that. I enjoyed the first season. It started off kind of wonky, got better. The second season for me so far, I think is improvement. There's a little more focus. Now we know where they're heading off the jump. And it's fun, isn't it? It doesn't take itself too seriously. It's campy at times in a good way. I enjoyed it. It's definitely a nice recommend for me. But if it's season one, you'd like definitely like season two. Joey.
No, I think it's more the same. Now, obviously, they've tightened the story a little bit. Now they're
Right.
obviously getting to that big competition. There was a little bit of that element at the end of season one with the fighting and
Yeah,
but
the last episode. Yeah.
now we're getting introduced to, if you're familiar with the game, the characters within the game, right? We got. I just saw in these. They dropped 3 episodes.
Mm-hmm.
So one of the characters introduced is Axel, right? So he's one of
Yeah.
the core
He's like a human
vehicles,
car, I
fighters,
guess.
whatever.
He's
Yeah.
a human car
Yeah,
cyborg
yeah, and
combo
then the guy on the
thing.
motorcycle. So, like I said, you're starting to see more and more of those characters being introduced because it's obviously leading up to the battle, the tournament, whatever you want to call it. So, and it is what it is, and I enjoyed it. What can I say, man?
Yeah, it's 30 minutes long. It's dopey show, but it's fun, and I'm kind of enjoying it for what it is. So for sure. Last one here, we got Apple Plus, who's been cooking. You're still cooking, Chewy, because I tell you what, if you're a fan of seeing Momoa's ass, this is the show for you. Chief of War. That's for sure. This one here is kind of a historical piece. Takes place in Hawaii, 1800s. We got I guess 4 kingdoms throughout the Kingdom of Hawaii and all that stuff. And Momoa
No,
was
it's 1700s.
1700s. Okay, 1700s.
Yeah, 18th century. It's
18th. I'm sorry,
1700s.
you're right. Yeah, in 1800s, 18th century. Momoa is, I guess, left his tribe. He was high up ranking chief of war, kind of. I don't know exactly what it was. But he left his tribe with his family. Didn't want to live that life anymore. But his tribe has called him back to help him against another tribe, or he thought so anyway, and he was duped. Now he's trying to escape once again. He's being sought after, and of course, all things go to hell when, of course, the white man, or should I say, the pale-skinned individuals joined the fray, and of course, they in colonists always ruin everything. That said, Chewy, your thoughts on the 2 episodes dropping on Apple?
So, I mean, it's good to see Boba Fett eating again.
Boba Fett, that's true. He's eating. Good for
Or
him.
Rex, whatever you call him, a clone color. Tamara Morrison is back, much better shape than he was in the first season of Boba Fett. If you recall that, he was out of shape for that. He hadn't been working for a while, but he's one of I guess he's the
He's a chief of
king,
Momoa's
chief,
tribe.
whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, these
Yeah.
like 4 little kingdoms, right?
Right.
Hawaii, Maui, Oahu, another one. And he's kind of kind of perpetrating the kind of mass takeover, I guess I'm saying. But no, man, I mean, it gets very interesting. This is all dubbed, obviously. They're speaking. I don't know if it's Samoan
I'm
or
not sure. Dialect that's in how I, from what I understand, which I liked, right? It gave it
yeah,
the added to the authenticity of the show.
yeah,
Because
yeah, because
if they were speaking English, it would have been weird.
yeah, they're all speaking with
The
I
native
don't know,
language, whatever that may be.
yeah, whatever the native language was of Hawaii, whether it's Samoan or some offshoot of Samoan, it's a native language, right? And so you see it all dubbed. I think most of the actors are from that area, Samoan Hawaiian background, so I guess it comes naturally to them. So it doesn't seem forced. Very, very interesting story. Right? Something new, right? This is not something I've seen before or know much about. So it's good to get a little historical perspectives, all based on true events to a certain degree, right? But it is a drama, so this is not a history lesson per se. But I mean, it's 2 episodes in. I'm enjoying what I'm seeing. Obviously, good production from Apple. That's we expect nothing less from
Yeah.
any of the shows, whether it's sci-fi, drama, comedy, whatever. They don't shortchange us on the aesthetic look and feel. But it's got my attention. Even in spite of seeing Jason Momoa's ass.
Hold that ass in the show, man. So hold that ass. Listen,
He's not
I
the
mean,
only one, obviously, but
yeah, he's one amongst many. I'm enjoying the show. It's good. It was well done. Apple's done a good job here. I love the authenticity of it. It looks great. There's cool fight scenes. It's graphic, which is nice. Just what I expect with some of the the savagery when
well,
in
brutal, right?
terms of
Because
battle, right?
there's
Very
a lot
brutal.
of hand-to-hand combat with
Yeah,
clubs,
spears and
with
clubs
spears.
and whatever
Uh,
knives and whatever.
yeah,
Yeah.
the one of those when you shoot the rocks and stuff. I mean, and the ropes, and I can't remember what it's called, but I mean, this is not modern war, Call of Duty by any stretch.
No, no, and that's cool, right? Again, adding to that authenticity of the time period, and very cool. I'm enjoying the show. I like Momoa's character, and learning more about what's going on, and just the season two really at the end of it is like, oh, okay, so we're going with this. So it's, I didn't anticipate that part.
No, no, that was
Um,
a surprise because yeah,
yeah,
he's essentially obviously it's going to be a little bit whether either some time to something, right? Because he well, let's not spoil it, but
yeah,
yeah,
I won't spoil it, but something
and that's
occurs that
something that's
definitely,
going to be
yeah,
a
yeah.
continuous timeline type of telling of the story.
Correct, correct. So, but that's interesting show, very well done. It's a good recommend. Apple is cooking still for sure. Definitely, we'll see how good it gets as the series continues. But so far, they're off to a really good start. Really good, high recommend on my part for that again. Chief of War on Apple Plus. That's it for this week, dude. So a lot of good stuff. Next week, various things coming out in the next couple weeks. So let's get into that. Chew. We got Netflix on the 5th. We got Titans, The Rise of Hollywood. It's kind of this is a series, not a documentary, if I'm not
Yep.
mistaken, right?
No, yeah, I'm not sure if it's a docu movie or a
Yeah,
docu series, but it's a documentary for sure.
right. The people who kind of created Hollywood back in the day, right?
Yeah,
When
yeah. I mean,
Austin
like the
Powers got doing some
original, the
things.
original folks. Yeah, shit. I mean, MGM, right?
Right,
Warner Brothers,
Paramount, and
Paramount,
usual, yeah, yeah,
the initial major studios that,
yeah.
and when they come up to Hollywood. So I think there's a story. It's a documentary about that.
Yeah, so that could be interesting. On the 6th, we got Wednesday coming back with season two. I think this is coming in two parts, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, this first part
Okay.
this week. The next part September. The first week of September, September
Okay.
3rd. It's right after Labor Day.
All right. So Jenna Ortega, which he'll claim the fame here. Fun, enjoyable show from Tim Burton the first season. I really liked it.
No, I mean,
So it was definitely
it's
a fresh
definitely
take on
a
this.
nice
Yeah,
surprise
yeah,
to
it
see
definitely was.
that.
Yeah, that was me bad, and it was actually pretty good. So I'm looking forward to season two. On the 7th, Disney, FX, Hulu, you name it. We got Nexcala.
Well,
Next,
it's FXX, not
it's
FX.
okay.
It's
So
the
it's
other
only
FX. Yeah,
FX. Okay,
it's
but
still
it's still
around,
in Disney and still in
surprisingly.
Hulu, if I'm not mistaken.
That's true.
This is kind of a Welcome to Wrexham kind of style thing with, of course, Ryan Reynolds driven show docu series, I guess, on the soccer team.
Yeah,
This focusing on the Mexican soccer team as
yeah,
well.
Necaxa,
So
but this
for
is
sure,
run by Eva Longoria,
Eva
right? And
Longoria,
obviously,
right? Correct.
Ryan and Rob are involved because obviously they're in a trailer. But how involved they are, maybe they're silent partners. I'm not sure. But
I
this is
think they'll
run by
probably
her.
come out like episode one. That's all we're gonna see of them,
Yeah,
essentially.
probably.
Curious about this. I like the Welcome to Wrexham, but I don't know if this is gonna be anywhere near that. But whatever, we'll find out. On the 8th on Stars, we got Blood of My Blood Outlander series, a prequel. So of course, 8th season run Outlander, which I saw part of this at Comic Con. Just don't give a shit, so I didn't talk about it.
Oh, that's
Uh,
right. You got really early to college. I took
yeah,
a
and I
chance
saw
and
tips and
paid
bits of
off.
this, and I wasn't even paying attention. But I know you're a fan of the show, and it's
Yes,
a
I
prequel too.
am, but I had
So
other things to I had
yeah.
to do
No,
my
no, of course,
shopping
yeah,
first,
yeah.
so I could sit there and watch it, not knowing that I care to see The Walking Dead, what you have to suffer through.
That was suffering for Walking Dead fans. But whatever, Outland's a good show, I guess. I don't know, it's been on for a while. Going, I'm not sure you definitely
Yeah,
check
so
it
this
out
is
when
a
that comes out on the 8th.
prequel.
Yeah,
This is I think it's intersecting with the parents of the main characters in the Outlander series, right?
right.
I think that's what I haven't seen much, but I'm gonna watch it because I've enjoyed Outlander.
That's something you're a fan of the show, so yeah, you
Yeah.
might as well give it a shot. Why not?
Mhm.
For sure. And that comes on the 8th. Also on the 8th is Stolen Heist of the Centuries, a docu-film. Some popular, famous Diamond Heist. It's a heist, so I am in.
Mhm.
So that comes out on the 8th. The following week, as we mentioned before, on Hulu, FX, what have you, it's, of course, Alien Earth. On the 12th, we'll remind you guys next week. I assume they're dropping one episode a week, or this is not like
No,
a.
no. Well, I
Yeah.
mean, I'm not sure if they're gonna drop two, but usually since it's
Oh,
FX, well, I take that back. FX has sometimes dropped two
okay.
of the pilot and and then the next episode. Sometimes they just do one. I'm not. I think they plan to just drop one for this one. It's only an
Okay.
eight episode run.
Well, we've already seen it, so there's no need to watch it again. Well, there you
Well,
go.
I'm gonna watch it again
I
because
still
I
may
enjoyed it.
catch it again. Yeah, I'm still may catch it again anyway. But that's on the 12th. I'm excited to talk more about that. Prime, 8/13, August 13th, Butterfly. Interesting
Hmm.
show, which I think had a presence at Comic Con.
They were at
They
Comic
were
Con.
there.
We
Okay,
missed it because we were at Hall H. But this is I think they're dropping all the episodes on the 13th. This is
nice.
based on a comic. Boom Studios. I believe, but I don't know much about the story.
It seems like a Asian crime story, action packed, and so I'm in with that for sure. So I'm looking forward to that definitely. On the 14th, In the Mud, it's a Netflix series. This I believe is another foreign show, particularly Spanish, if I'm not mistaken. The five women who are incarcerated to become friends after a incident occurs inside the walls of the prison, and all hell breaks loose, and that's things go
And
from
this is
there, I
not a
guess.
telenovela. At least I don't think so.
Not a novela, so that's important to emphasize there. The USA here, we never talk about USA, and I probably won't
Ever.
be watching USA. Maybe too. And that's The Rainmaker. This is, of course,
Yeah.
John Grisham story. I think it was a movie back in the day. It's
Yeah,
basically a
with
courtroom drama. It's basically what this
Tom
is.
Cruise. Tom Cruise. No, no, not Tom
No,
Cruise.
no,
Was it
Matt Damon. If I'm
Matt
not
Damon?
mistaken.
Thank you. Yes.
Yeah. So that's courtroom drama. I'm assuming is what this is. So okay,
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
okay.
So you can catch it USA, or if you don't have USA and you're only streaming, they'll probably do it next day on Peacock. Well, for sure to do next day on Peacock. Peacock owns all that. So
Oh, that's a good point. I didn't think about that. So I'll see. I'm not sure if I'm not, courtroom dramas don't always land well with me, but on Netflix we got Fit for TV. This is another docu series based on the reality series The Biggest Loser. Gets going behind the scenes
mhm.
where things weren't
The
always what they seem.
shady
Apparently,
things.
a lot
Yeah.
of shady stuff went around. Apparently, I was unaware of. So I'm kind of interested in this. I am familiar with The Biggest Loser. And then on Prime, you got Betty La Fea returning, a show I don't watch, but I know Chewy does. Of course, a remake of this
Season two.
season two remake of a popular, Spanish
Well,
drama, I guess.
it was a Colombian telenovela,
Yeah,
very, very
very
popular.
popular.
So many different versions, even American version
There's an American version. That's
that
right.
came
Yeah.
out.
Hmm.
So that was a full telenovela treatment back in the day. Then they revived it, rebooted it, which is the rage. A couple years ago, they rebooted everything, right? We're bringing everything back. So season one dropped, but it was much shorter. It wasn't like we didn't get 60 episodes, right? It was a 8 to 10 episode run. So I expect more of the same. But like I'm a fan of the show. I'll keep watching.
Yeah, for sure. So that's I think that's all for the next couple weeks. So of course we'll be back here next Sunday to talk about some of the early shows of this one. Let you know what's coming out. Join us. Hit the subscribe button, notification bell, hit the like button. Help us out. And we'll see you guys next week.
Peace.